Yeah. Hey, we back. Y'all thought we weren't gonna come back, didn't y'all? Well, we gonna come back. We here. We waiting until we get some subscribers in this thing, some people in this thing. You know, we gonna stop playing with y'all. We're gonna start waiting until we get some folks in here, like the R.I.P. The brother Kevin Samuels. He used to wait until he get, you know what I'm saying, until they check in.
The Godfather.
You know what I'm saying? The day he check in, he ain't going on. Yeah, but we finna bless y'all with a good show tonight. You know, it's the 10th show. We feeling good. We feeling in our unit. You know what I'm saying? In the way we supposed to feel and everything. And tonight's show is about, you know, are we going broke trying to look rich? You know? So we're gonna explore that topic. You know what? Hey, with no further ado, let's get this thing cracking. It's myself, Mr. James Mack.
And it's the Shuntastic one. How y'all doing?
Yeah, and we are broadcasting live from Brickell, Miami. You understand me, at the James Mack store. And we're about to bring it to you live. This is the 10th show, Mr. Flowers.
It's a celebration, bitches.
Hey, we're excited, you know what I mean? It's the 10th show. You know, how many people can really tell you that they made it through and was successful? Oh, let's get this out the way right away. Last week we didn't go live because we was in the middle of part of the Hurricane Ian. You know, so we decided to go ahead and take that day off so we can hunker down, as they say, and be safe and all these old type of things. But everything passed through here in Miami, and we was okay. We didn't experience too much damage and everything. I done went out and bought $100 worth of noodles. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, I done bought $100 worth of noodles, and I ain't even nothing I could do with them.
Ramen noodles.
Yeah, because I remember we used to make popcorn with them. You just take the bag, crush it up, and then put the sauce on it and shake it and eat it just like that. No water, no nothing.
Raw noodles.
Popcorn.
Well, let me say this. Being a Floridian,
right?
We obviously was in the pocket.
Okay.
You know, because the actual storm covered the majority of the peninsula.
Right.
The only people that really didn't touch was the Panhandle.
Yeah.
Me being from Pensacola, Florida, I am completely aware of how storms operate.
Mm-hmm.
So being in this pocket,
okay,
all we got was wind damage. Now I can say this: we got a tornado on my street, but it didn't hit my street. It hit the you got the adjacent running boulevard, and it hit the other side of the street.
And you know what's crazy? I'm not gonna say I ain't believe you, brother, but I was like, man, come on, man. You live right down the street from here.
Right.
So I'm like, I ain't hear nothing about no tornado. But then I was looking through Instagram and seeing like some pictures, and I actually seen the tornado. I seen the funnel cloud and everything over this area. So, brother, you was telling the truth. I'm like, wow.
I mean, I don't, I ain't gonna lie to you. But I do want to shout out my the many people that was affected by the storm up in Fort Myers.
Okay. Yeah.
Port Charlotte, that area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they did get it looks like Katrina out there.
Yeah, it looked like Katrina. And the crazy thing is, I used to live in Cape Coral, which is across the bridge from Fort Myers. Cape Coral got wiped out too. They ain't really say too much about it, but yeah, I used to be on Fort Myers Beach all the time at the Lani Kai. If anybody know anything about that, that's like the infamous spring break spot at the spot. And they said they got wiped out. You know, everything got wiped out. And if you ever been down up through that way, you know it ain't. If you going down, and I don't know exactly what street that is, but if you going down, you know, if you in Fort Myers Beach and you going down that street, man, you don't see nothing but mansions, you know, 3-4 story buildings. I'm talking about, it is nice over there. I'm talking about you can do the beach, you can do the beach cruisers all the way down, and you ain't nothing but just mansions and nice. And then you got Barefoot Beach, and then you go down some more. You got the Sanibel Island Bridge. You go over there, boom, Sanibel Island is just off the chain. So, you know, they lost a lot.
Well, yeah. So again, like I said, I just want to shout out that whole area.
Yeah.
That was affected. You know, going all the way over to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You know, to because Orlando got hit pretty decent too. And then of course it went over to, you know what I'm saying, the Atlantic side.
Yeah.
And went straight up to the Carolinas.
Man, they done bust South Carolina, Myrtle Beach wide open. That's one of my spots right there. You'll catch me at in Myrtle Beach chilling, eating some crab legs, and they done wiped them out too, man. They done did the thing over there.
You can have them roaches, man. I ain't eating no roaches.
Well, you know, to each his own. You be eating roaches and don't even know. You be going to the Chinese restaurant talking about, let me get,
Hey, listen.
Okay. You be going to the, okay.
I refuse at this point in my life, because they say when you know better, you do better.
Okay.
To eat crustaceans, because crustaceans is nothing but the cockroaches of the sea.
Okay, so we can get into that, but I mean, like, you know, you're still eating beef and pork, right?
I don't eat pork.
Okay, so you're still eating beef and chicken, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you know, historically we know that's doing more damage to your body than the cockroaches of the sea, right?
Not necessarily, but I feel you. I hear what you.
I mean, let's get
meat is meat.
Nobody's shooting up no crabs.
No, but they eating the garbage that's at the bottom of the sea.
I mean, but they've been eating that but that still is not.
And then you wonder why black folks got so many.
They don't have blood cells in those areas though.
In what areas?
In their limbs.
Okay.
So we're not eating the blood, you know. Anyway,
but hey, are you going broke trying to be rich?
That's what I'm saying. Hey, no, well, yeah, I'm gonna eat some crab legs and look, rich.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna eat some lobster and look rich. I'm gonna be like
the lobster tails and the doggone, you know.
Now, I mean, you know, and we ain't gonna keep on this, but to your point, yes, I have looked at some documentaries and seen like how lobsters just be all over the place and looking like roaches. And yes, they are roaches of the sea. That's true. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, listen, if an atomic bomb hit, the only thing that would survive is roaches. Yeah. The crabs and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the only thing that'll survive.
I mean, you got a point, but let's just say that the ocean floor is sanitary.
Oh, that's a big if.
I'm saying it's
huge if,
salt water.
Here in Miami.
It's salt water. No, I don't eat no crabs over here, bro. No, I don't even eat no snapper. They be talking about Florida caught snapper. Is you crazy? I'm not gonna eat that.
But listen though, the Atlantic goes all the way up.
No doubt.
So if you eating crab legs in Carolina, you eating from the Atlantic.
No, not quite. Not quite.
If you eating crab from Maryland, you eating from the Atlantic.
No, it's different regions. It's different.
But the Atlantic goes all the way up, though.
It does. But it flows a certain type of way. You know. But no, I got you. You know.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let's we so happy to be back because I mean we done missed what would have been 2 weeks.
Well, it feels like 2 weeks.
It feel like 2 weeks.
We just missed last week.
Yeah, so we back on y'all like that there, and we finna get right into the subject. Hey, first of all, let me go ahead and pull this up because this is important. You know, check this out. You know, and she's pretty. She got the grill in. You know, that symbolizes that she having money. You know, first of all, are we going broke trying to look rich? You know, I'm gonna be the first to step out there and say I've been a victim of trying to look rich. I've been a victim of trying to look rich. I'm gonna just keep that real off the gate. You know, I bought cars, I bought clothes. Let me just jump this off. Let me just you know, because I go on to know. Let me just jump this off with an example of how I recently, you know, discipline myself not to, you know, try to look rich, right? So I was in the store up the street. We got the city center, which is adjacent to our spot too. And I was in and I was on Saks on Fifth, right? And it was some Alexander McQueen's and they're on sale. Okay. So I'm like, man, I ain't never really splurged on no real name brand shoes. Okay.
The $600 shoes or the $900?
I'm finna get right to it, right? They was the $900s on sale for $600, right?
Gotcha.
So I'm like, ooh, you know, they were ugly shoes. The shoes is ugly, okay? I'm like, but that's the fashion right now,
so
okay?
It was the sneaker?
It was the sneaker hybrid combo type of, you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly.
I'm like, man, I could really put that together with something and be in the fashion because the shoe is actually ugly, right? Mm-hmm. To the way I'm looking at it, like, man, this shoe heavy as I don't know what. It weighs about a ton, and it's kind of ugly, but this is what they wear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, ooh, if I would get them, they was like black and with the lime green. So I'm like, ooh, I could put together a nice little, because you could dress them up or dress them down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, ooh. So I look at the price and they on sale now. They say like 40, 30% off. I'm like, okay. Oh, look at the tag. It was $1,100. Now it's on sale for $600.
Okay.
I'm like, man, I gotta get these shoes, right? Because I just want to have them just to be like, okay, I got the shoes. I'm in here. So now, let's keep it real. There's really no sense for me to spend $600 on these shoes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I'm trying to be a jeweler. No, I am a jeweler. I'm trying to do my thing. I'm trying to set an image off. So I really need to come through with that drip to let them know, like, nah, he having that money. Like, nah, look at bro, got them Alexander McQueen on. He having that money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, ooh. But then my real sense kicked in, and I'm like, bro, you gonna be at $600 on them shoes? I'm like, I can't spend $600 on them shoes. So I didn't spend the $600. You know what I'm saying? I ended up getting something else for the $150.
Okay.
But they ain't really, I don't even really wear them. I might take them back because they want the same flavor, they want the same quality. If I step in, they gonna be like, oh, you got them off the sales rack. So I say all that to say,
so he got them from Saks off Fifth.
Yeah, I got from
Saks Fifth.
I did dip the corner like, I dipped around the corner like, let me see what they got over here. They was some Michael Kors or something. I'm like, I'm gonna take them back. Anyway, I say all that to say, my mind frame, when I checked in my mind frame, I'm like, bro, you just trying to really keep up with what they feel like. If I go to the club and I got the jewelry on, because I'm a jeweler, by the way, jamesmackdesigns.com. If I go to the club and I got the jewelry on and I got the Alexander McQueen's, and we're going to get into all that here in just a minute of how I'm supporting a brand and all that. I'm going to get into that. But now all I'm doing really is faking it, because really I need 60 bands to be able to buy them $600 shoes. I need 60 bands in my account, bro. Really, truly.
Right.
I should have 60 bands in liquid to buy them $600 shoes. The shoe's not even worth $600, bro. Talk to me.
Well, I think we kind of had this conversation a little bit before.
Yeah.
When we talked about how name brand stuff actually just mark it up, tremendously. And of course, being in the jewelry business, we all know how jewelry is 1,000%
no, we all don't know that. No, we don't know that, but go ahead.
But you know what I'm saying? But the point that I'm making is, I learned this a long time ago, actually in my early 30s. Because if you know anything about me, I used to stay in the mall.
Yeah, dripped up. Yeah,
I used to live in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of my mentors in Atlanta, a millionaire, a couple times over.
Yeah.
I used to watch him and watch how he dressed.
Mm-hmm.
And as a millionaire, he literally had a couple suits.
Okay.
With a whole bunch of different shirts and a whole bunch of different ties.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then of course I don't think he owned maybe one pair of jeans.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
He owned one pair of jeans?
I think he owned like one pair.
You saying,
of jeans.
But he had a slack though. He was wearing like suits.
He was wearing like a whole bunch of suits.
Okay.
A whole bunch of, you know what I'm saying? He had like a couple, like maybe 3 or 4 different slacks, but a whole lot of different shirts.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And a whole bunch of different ties.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's just missing and matching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you never really saw him with the same combination on.
Right.
Too many times. Mm-hmm. However, I said all that to say, this guy's a millionaire driving a Bentley.
Okay, he got the Bentley. Okay.
He driving a Bentley that was given to him.
Okay, you know free Bentley. Okay.
And well, I ain't gonna say it was good. He earned it. But
okay.
But he didn't come out of his pocket and drop that $250,000 on the car.
Right. He didn't drop that bag on the car. Okay.
Right. And so, or more on the car. So he literally used to, you know what I'm saying, watching him and see, and I'm in the mall every weekend, you know what I'm saying, getting the Gucci, rocking the Gucci belt, the Gucci loafers, the Louis Vuitton belt, the Louis Vuitton loafers, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, dog, I'm spending all this money, and this guy got the money and ain't spending the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I literally started copying him and started literally, mixing and matching my stuff. I literally had to go to, I would go to Target or Walmart or go to Macy's or whatever the case is, or what's the other store? Burlington.
Okay, Burlington. Okay, shout out to Burlington.
Go out to Burlington and get the $15, $20, slacks or whatever the case is, and then just get go get a whole bunch of shirts and stuff. So I said, if you look at us, and
as a people,
okay,
as
a people, Black people wear outfits, white people wear clothes.
Okay. Oh, hold on, wait. Let me give you this one for that. Give that man a round of applause for that.
You know what I'm saying? Black people, we wear outfits.
Okay.
Which means when we step out, we stepping out trying to look the
rich.
Absolute best. We trying to look as rich.
Are we trying to look rich or we trying to look coordinated?
We're trying to look like we got the bag.
Like we got some money.
Like we got some money.
Okay. All right, cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they step out, they got the money. Almost a lot of them have the money already.
Yeah.
And they're just putting on some clothes.
Now, I got a problem with that, Mr. Flowers, because I'm like, okay, because they don't like to get dressed. We've been getting dressed since the beginning of the time. You feel what I'm saying? We've been putting on diamonds. We've been putting on big, emeralds. I'm just getting my graduate gemology degree here in the next couple months for y'all that keep playing with me. But anyway, emeralds were first discovered in Egypt.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I say that to say, we've been, Egyptians was getting dressed and putting on jewelry and everything that was before they even had a understanding of what the whole the year was. You know what I mean?
But those were king and queens and pharaohs.
No, not everybody. I mean, if you could afford some jewelry, I'm sure it was people back then that couldn't afford the jewelry. They got some.
But if you go back, if you look at history. Right,
historically, the big jewels. That's just like now. If you see somebody in the club, they got the big jewelry on. You like, ooh, they got that jewelry on.
But again, those were the Nefertitis and the King Tuts and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm sure the astrologers of the time.
Yeah.
I'm sure the engineers of the time.
Right.
I'm sure they had some form of land, animals. Whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But they wasn't rocking trying to look a certain kind of way, even though they probably had it at the time. They wasn't at the status of a king or queen or a pharaoh, but they still was higher in the elite, right?
But they had some jewelry on. You could tell they had that bag.
They used to wear the family crest on the ring.
Wear the crest on the ring.
They had the ring or the bracelet or whatever the case is. Right. And so we trying to emulate the kings and queens and so forth of the Egyptian times. Is
it naturally in us, or are we trying to emulate them?
We're trying to,
because I don't think we seen much visual. We ain't seen much pictures of them. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't seen much examples of how they was moving to be able to emulate that.
Well, King Tut's, even though it's been whitewashed, but King Tut's picture and Nefertiti's pictures has been around for a long period of time.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you go back to Grandmama and them, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't, they rocked the finer linens of the time, but they wasn't rocking the heavy jewels of it, you know what I'm saying, like we are.
Is it because they couldn't afford it?
If you go to Tulsa, if you go to, these higher end, Wilmington, Tulsa, these, these places.
Yeah.
Where Lake Lanier is, where the city under Lake Lanier. If you go to these prominent areas,
right,
they had money.
They had jewelers too, though.
But they were more concerned about purchasing. And they had the status quo of the time, but they wasn't rocking the heavy jewels and so forth.
They was trying to get the land.
They was getting the land and starting the businesses. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where we need to, I think we veered off of that
facts.
That direction.
Definitely now, right?
Right. We veered off of that because now it's not about trying to establish the land, and it's not about trying to establish wealth. It's about trying to live in the moment with us.
I'm glad you said that. I want to jump into another story. I'm gonna give a couple of stories about myself tonight because I'm a prime example of somebody that's been trying to look rich and really going broke. I'm just gonna keep it real. So I had bought this car, right? You know what I'm saying? And I overspent on it, you know what I'm saying? It was a used car, whatever the case may be. And it wasn't like the car was all, I mean, it wasn't nothing that nobody had just been like, ooh, he pulling up. Like, it was just something basic, but I knew that it was newer, like, you know what I'm saying? But I was trying to build my credit and all that and everything. Now I could have kept what I had, you know what I'm saying? At the time I had a Lexus on some rims and all that, and it was just fine. I mean, it started acting up a little bit, but I could have put the money into it and kept that. But I'm like, no, I want to jump in something new. I want to jump in something fresh, clean. So I jumped in something fresh. And not just really trying to do it, really trying to create that image like, okay, he in the jury, he in the jury business, you know, I gotta pull up clean, right? Even though the Lexus was still clean, but I gotta pull up some 2015, something like that. So I ended up getting a car. Car cost me about $31,000. That was in 2016. I just paid the car off like 2 months ago. $31,000, right? I turn around, I'm like, okay, I'm about to trade the car in, right? I'm about to go ham on them right now, right? I take the car to the lot. They like, yeah, we'll give you 5 G's for it. 5 G? You want to give me 5 G's? I show them everything here. I just got done paying $31,000. Oh, we don't care about that, man. You know, we don't care about that. You know, it's worth $5,000 right now.
Right.
So I paid $25,000 to look like I was worth money, when in actuality, I mean, my car payment was like $600 a month, and I did that for, you know, like 5, 6 years. So I really went broke trying to look rich. And I say that to say to all the brothers that's buying, like, let's just even go as far as say used luxury vehicles, because if you know really how the tax thing work and you know how the business thing work, you wonder why other people is buying brand new 2020 Rolls Royce, 2020 McLaren, 2020, you know, all these different things. Well, it's a science behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really know the science, then you can ride that and not even pay for it. It's free. But if you don't, if you're buying the car, if you're buying it, now you got some problems. So I'm gonna let you go here because I know you want to speak on that.
Well, I'm gonna say this. First of all, one of the reasons why you see all of your quote unquote rich people go get G-Wagons and so forth.
Oh yeah, G-Wagon, yeah.
It's because a lot of people don't know, and this is a cheat code for you guys that's out there making, you know, big money. The cheat code is that the heavier the car is, you get a tax write-off.
Yeah.
And so if you go and get a G-Wagon, you can write it off because it's the weight of the car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's a note for you guys that's out there making money that want a G-Wagon. You can write it off on your taxes.
But the G-Wagon, you still got to pay up front. Don't forget to tell them that.
But most people aren't buying the car.
They're even leasing it.
They're leasing the car.
But you still got to pay that lease up front.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But the lease, the way the lease is set up, you're paying, you're making like a, I can't even think of the term of the name. And of course, you guys know I sold cars at one point. But you're paying a fee up front, but it's nowhere near the amount of money that you would pay for the whole entire car.
Yeah, but let's just get this straight.
It's actually very minimum.
Yeah, but let's get this straight, because I think a lot of people is confused with that. They like, oh, I'm gonna go get the G-Wagon and put it on my business credit. And listen, you still, if the G-Wagon costs you $1,200 a month plus your insurance, you still have to pay that $1,200 per month for the next 2 years. Well, let's just say for the next year. Then when that next year comes, then you can write it off on your taxes. But until then, you got to pay for the G-Wagon up front.
Well, again, as a lease.
So you better be making that money, or else you're going to be going broke trying to look rich.
But if you're going to get that new McLaren, you're going to get all these different, higher-end cars. Yeah. You're not really concerned about a grand a month.
But who knows? Yeah, but some people, I'm going to go on the verge and say,
and then, so let me hold this. And then, even if the amount is, is too much for you, right? You can actually get somebody else to take over that lease for you.
Yeah,
and sign that lease over to you.
If you got to do that, the whole point is if you got to do that, then you was you was doing too much.
You're over leveraging. Yeah, you're doing way too much.
So if your business better be, if you go get the G-Wagon, and we both business owners and everything, if you go get the G-Wagon, you better be netting or grossing. If the G-Wagon costs $1,200, you better be bringing in at least about, I'm gonna say safely, $30,000 a month.
That's $1,200 a month, y'all. You're not talking $1,200.
Yeah, $1,200 a month. So you better be bringing in at least $30,000, a month.
Yeah, which is doable.
And it depends on what business you're in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It depends on what business you're in, but if you're in the right business, you can afford it. But if you're not in the right business and you're grabbing the G-Wagon to say you got the G-Wagon or to ride around in it, and you're not, doing something to offset that cost, like putting it on tour or something like that, now you're hurting yourself because you're looking rich. You jumping out in the G-Wagon. I see them all the time down here in Miami. We can really count on our fingers how many people we see down here in Miami right now.
Oh yeah, it's about 4 or 5 right there.
It's something right there right now. Matter of fact, what is that? Okay, that ain't nothing but a Mustang, but you gonna see that every day. But how many of those people really can afford it?
Well, I'd probably say if I had to guess, I'd probably say about 78, probably 80% of people here in Miami can afford it.
Okay, can afford it. Okay, now we gonna slap that. What's that? That's the Lamborghini truck right there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's about $2,000 a month. Okay. So never mind that. Let's get into this. Boom. Okay. So then you get the big condo, the big apartment, right? Boom. So now you got the G-Wagon. And honestly, we talking on some Miami talk, because if you go to a different city, you doing all this, you balling like,
right.
Yeah, you pulling up in Charlotte or you pulling up in some other city, you in Atlanta. Like, I think Atlanta is probably one of the spots. Atlanta and Miami is probably one of the spots where it's a lot of victims of this mind state.
Well,
and
one of the reasons why I left Atlanta.
Okay.
Because I used to live in Atlanta.
Talk about it, yeah.
So one of the reasons why I left Atlanta is because there's a lot of people in Atlanta, a vast majority of people in Atlanta that's faking it to make it.
Yeah.
Right. And so a lot of these stars and stuff that you see on these reality TV shows, they really ain't making no money.
They not having no money.
Right. Okay. They are on TV. They're projecting a lifestyle that they're not even living themselves.
Capping.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. And so that's one of the reasons why I left Atlanta, because Atlanta is the Mecca, you know what I'm saying, for, the black Mecca. But at the same time, there's a lot of people faking it to make it in Atlanta.
There's a lot of capping.
A lot of capping. So I wanted to go somewhere where people was actually making some real money. So I left Atlanta to go to Charlotte, because at the time, Charlotte, it was a whole lot of money in Charlotte.
Yeah. It was.
Up until the pandemic hit. Then when the pandemic hit, everybody left and scattered because all the banks and stuff, was in influx.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? And so, being from Florida, always coming back and forth between, Fort Lauderdale and Pensacola and so forth, my next venture was Miami. I got down here. There's money everywhere here. So all I'm saying is, you go to any other major rural area, metropolis area, there's money everywhere, but it's a lot of people in the vast majority of those metropolis cities that really don't have no money. They just really capping.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot of capping going on. So, that
even here in Miami, there's a lot of people.
It's a lot of capping going on in Miami, man. I know somebody, man, that and I just had found it out, but they had me believing that they was really getting to this bag. And I'm like, okay, y'all really having that money over here, right? And then come to find out through some real investigation and some real studying that these guys are just renting these cars every weekend and they renting the same cars every weekend and then go out where they, you know what I'm saying? So the guy live in my building, I'm like, and these dudes pulling up in Ferrari, Rolls Royces. Every time I see them, they got the Ferraris. Man, that's their car. They on Instagram and everything. But then I did a little information. I did a little networking, and then I'm like, oh, for real? That's part of their little collection of cars. Oh, okay. So come to find out, they rent the cars every weekend to make it look like they having the money to draw people into their investment pyramid scheme. You know what I'm saying? To get them in, because they had got me with it. I'm like, oh, y'all brothers doing it. You know what I'm saying? Check us out on IG, bro. We having it. You know what I'm saying? You want to invest? So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm trying to get it like that too. You know what I'm saying? But then when I did further investigation, I found out that they not really having it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's a problem with our culture is, so here's the thing, like, a lot of people always say you need to be like white people. Y'all need to be like white people. They don't never show their money. They just wear regular stuff. They have on busted jeans and busted shoes. Hey, look, I'm not never wearing no busted jeans and busted shoes. I don't care. I'm not doing it.
Busted shoe.
So when I say busted shoes, I mean like small regular joints, because they, you know, white people give you that line like, oh, these are my most comfortable shoes I ever had. I love them. I wear them every day.
Well, I mean, I could. This is what I'll say.
Okay.
You know, because before I start running businesses and before I, sold cars, I was a shoe salesman at one point in time.
Okay.
At Foot Locker and at Finish Line.
All right.
Right. And so, one of the things that I can say is that, of course, Asics and Brooks and all that kind of stuff, they are New Balance. Some of those shoes are the most comfortable shoes.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And then of course you see them with the Asics on or the Brooks on or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
You'll even see them go get some Target shoes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because their concern isn't about their look.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Now, have I worn some Target shoes? Absolutely.
Okay.
Have I worn some Walmart shoes? Absolutely.
All right.
Have I worn them recently? No. But, I have done it. So I'm not going to sit here and try to make myself out to be something that I'm not.
Okay.
But I've done that. So I said all that to say this. Yes. Busted shoes. I guess, because I remember buying shoes in the grocery store. I'm that old.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, you ain't that old. I don't know where you grew up at.
I grew up in Pensacola, Florida.
What kind of shoes you bought from the grocery store?
Listen, man, there used to be a store called Sack and Save.
That's some country stuff right there.
Yeah, Sack and Save. And they used to have, where in the vegetable aisle or in the aisleways, they used to have how they have all the mangoes and the apples and stuff piled up. They used to have shoes piled up.
Sack and
or a little bundle. You know how you dig into the little bundle and get to whatever? They used to have the little bundles of shoes. So I remember as a young kid growing up in Pensacola, Florida, we had a Sack and Save, and I remember going in that Sack and Save and getting sneakers to wear. Were they name brand? Absolutely not. Right. But that's how poor we were.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then of course I remember before Foot Locker there was a Kenny's.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny's was the name of the store.
Okay.
Kenny's had a little store inside the Sack and Save. So once we outgrew the little, whatever it was, XJ 3000s, whatever it was that was in the grocery store.
Yeah.
We moved over to the Kenny's and bought the shoes out of there. And then of course, Payless and all that kind of stuff, which is now out of business.
Yeah.
But again, as a young teenager,
right?
As a young 20, in my early 20s, late 20s,
yeah.
Jordans,
yeah,
Gucci belts, Louis Vuitton belts.
Okay.
Every hat. I used to want to be like LL Cool J.
Okay.
So I used to, every hat that came on that had a Florida Marlins or any type of Florida team on it, I was wearing it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So the FUBU, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I had all the name brand stuff at the, the Carl Canais. I wore all that stuff.
You had the Carl. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but it took me until, early 30s.
Okay.
Mid 30s, kind of start, because I went through a polo phase too. But, and polo, you're talking about $100 a shirt.
Yeah.
Or better. You know what I'm saying? And so, I went through that phase, and now it's all about trying to market myself. So I go actually to whatever, I go and get my stuff from a person. I ain't gonna call no names because I want to get my connect out.
Yeah.
But I go
so you got the nice new Nike dry fit current flowers edition.
So I go through my Connect now.
Y'all seen with the current flowers edition.
And I put my own logo on.
He looking rich, ain't he?
And go put my own stuff, because you know what I'm saying. I get my fashion sense from my mom.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, and my grandma. So you know, I know how to put some things together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, but. Yeah, man, you ain't got to spend a whole bunch of money to look rich, because a lot of these companies that
hold on, wait a minute, Mr. Flowers. What you mean you ain't got to spend a whole bunch of money to look rich? Why you trying to look rich?
That's
the whole point of the show.
You ain't got to spend a whole bunch of money, man, because I'm a firm believer that I would much rather have a better quality, than quantity.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of your non-name brand stuff has a better quality.
I disagree. I'm gonna tell you why. You know, I grew up, man. You know, we wasn't poor, but we wasn't able. You know, we grew up in a single family household. Moms held it down, and you know, this was around the time where they had the welfare and the food stamps and all this here. And moms didn't really have it like that, so we spent a lot of time. I remember like going to Payless and getting the Payless, you know, shoes, and I used to try to pick something different where everybody. So when I come through, they be like, "No, don't pay that shoes anyway." Like, oh man. So I say all that to say, like, cheap clothes break down fast.
Cheap clothes.
Yeah,
so you're absolutely right.
When I first started getting into, and I'm still getting into expensive things. I'm still getting into. They may be overly priced, but I'm still getting into quality things, right? So when I started buying the more expensive things, I noticed that the quality was different, right? Even like from here, when I went to Dubai, I went on a little shopping spree and I bought some clothes and shoes and stuff. Man, that stuff was 10 times better than the stuff here in America. The quality, everything was heavy, well made. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it wasn't that much more expensive, right? Because I had went on the shopping spree in the Target of Dubai.
Okay.
And they stuff was like the designer here. They was having that in Dubai. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I say all that to say, I'm done buying cheap stuff, man.
Well, when you say cheap, I'm talking. Yeah. Maybe I used the wrong verb.
Yeah.
Because cheap stuff, it tears down a whole lot quicker.
Yeah, I'm done buying it.
But a lot of your more affordable clothes, sometimes have a better quality. Because you got to think, your name brand stuff. Most of your labels or name brand clothes, they only make a certain amount.
Yeah.
Once they get to that amount, they stop putting the label on those.
Right.
So another company picks it up.
Mm-hmm.
And sell it with their label on it, and it's cheaper or more affordable, I should say.
I don't know about that.
I'm just giving you manufacturing.
I gotta see like which ones you talking about, because I done bought a lot of cheap stuff, like, you know, all this Zara craze, man. That junk is, man, it's trash.
I don't even know what Zara is.
Yeah, it's trash. The polo stuff, like, I mean, it's only so many polos you can buy. But the collars roll up on them, so I mean, them whack.
Now, are you buying the polo or the Polo Association?
No, I ain't never bought no polos. I would get talked about so bad where I'm from. I would never attempt to buy no Polo Association. Never. I wouldn't even buy that for nobody, because I mean, you know, but they making millions though, right? But you definitely can't look rich buying a Polo Association.
So let me say this.
But a rich person could buy a Polo Association and be looking still, you know what I'm
saying? But again, going back to manufacturing.
Okay.
And this is what I want to get over. This is the point that I'm trying to make. And I was thinking about this earlier, thinking about the show.
Yeah.
We as a people, as a culture, we talk about and downgrade or denigrate individuals who wear the knockoffs.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
However, why aren't we as a culture, or we as a people, why haven't we invested in our own brand? And like I said, once Nike finished making a certain amount of color or a certain amount of whatever the case is, they still got plenty of those left over. You know what I'm saying? Why aren't we buying that out?
You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Flowers.
You ain't got the answer. I don't have that. That's why it's a question. You know what I'm saying? But why aren't we doing that? You know what I'm saying? Because they're making millions, sometimes billions off of knockoffs. You know what I'm saying? Or let me not say knockoff, but secondary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we are too busy dogging people out, or too busy picking on, bullying, downgrading, whatever the case is, on these people that's wearing this stuff.
Yeah.
But somebody's making money off of this stuff.
We got a problem as African Americans. We love white culture. I'm just gonna keep it real. We love white culture, and that's not being racist or bigoted or anything like that. But everything that the white people invent, for the most part, or they do, we have to follow that. You know what I'm saying? And we shame our black culture and the things we trying to do, and that's something that we have to get over as a race. We gotta start supporting our own businesses, because it always it gets down to the point to, like, just say here, like, okay, we selling jewelry, right? We're getting to the point to where every piece we're developing and manufacturing, right? Mm-hmm. So we're taking away the excuse that, oh, we ain't getting that because I ain't doing them, getting it from China. No, we're not. We're taking it from cut and sew, almost from the metal all the way to the finished product here in America, right?
Right.
So we need to, as far as our apparel, we need to get back to that, because that's the only way we're gonna get the quality for what we deserve, right? Y'all go buy them Louis bags and all that. Y'all can get a James Mack bag. Y'all go on the website right now, jamesmackdesigns.com, and buy one of these bags for $1,500-$1,700. But will you promote it? Will you be proud of it like you would if it had the LV on it? No, because you're brainwashed.
Well, I mean, absolutely, and a lot of them, we say the white manufacturers or the white companies, but a lot of those companies stole from us. Absolutely.
And I just seen something on Instagram like that. I hate to say that, but they show the patterns of like the Versace pattern came from a tribe in Africa. The Louis pattern came from a tribe in Africa. When you get into these colognes and things like that, a lot of these scents come from African oils. You know what I'm saying? But they're not gonna tell you that though. They don't want you to know that. A lot of their inspiration come from, most of it come from Africa, because we are the creators of fashion, entertainment, and all these different things.
Well, of course, if you know about your history, Moors. The Moors taught the Italians. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, you dropping some science on it right now. What you saying?
You know what I'm saying? The Moors taught the Italians get the you know what I'm saying, the gator belts and the designs and the fashion sense from the Moors, from the Moroccans. You know what I'm saying? And so, and the Ethiopians. Mm-hmm. And so all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? We need to get back to, since we're supposed to be the woke culture now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We need to get back to being woke, like really actually out of this nightmare that we're living, and back to, you know what I'm saying, the original dream. You know what I'm saying? And so we literally have to go back to being innovators.
Right.
We're so busy copycatting and so busy degrading people that we have gotten away from being the originators or the innovators that we once were.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I'm saying, it's just a lot of things in this whole makeup.
Yeah.
That is just, I can't even think of the correct term. We're just delusional at the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, we need to wake up.
Well, I'm gonna help them wake up right now and let them know that if you're thinking about buying a vehicle, or if you're thinking about buying a big house that's overpriced right now, don't be stupid right now in the next year. You could buy a trap house, you could buy something low price, but if you're talking about going into one of these $350,000 house with a 9% interest or 8% interest, because that's, let me tell y'all something right now. I just want to tell y'all this right now.
Before you say that, hold that thought.
Yes, sir.
Interest rates just went up again.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks ago.
One blip or 75 blips.
It will go up again.
Yeah.
Before the end of the year.
Right. They putting a pause on it now. They saying that we going too fast. They noticing it. The dollar is showing they're going too fast. But this is what I want y'all to know. Okay, so they doing all this because First of all, they want you to be broke. They trying to break people. They trying to break. First people gonna get broke is African Americans, because we already last on the totem pole for a whole lot of things. So we gonna be broke fast first.
2053.
You know what I'm saying? So the unemployment rate right now is at 3.2%, somewhere around it. Chairman Powell went on camera and said that they are, the Federal Reserve, which is a privately owned company. If then nobody know that's not part of the United States, companies. He went on record and said they're trying to get unemployment up to about 5.5, somewhere around there. They want at least 5% unemployment rate, right? And then they need to get the inflation down, right? But they also want to make sure that it's a lot of small businesses that lose their business. All this is part of bringing inflation down. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to hurt the people that's poor. So check this out. The point of all this is to get you to the point to where when you go in a car dealership, right, and you trying to get that new Benz, you know what I'm saying, that 2022 electric thing, right?
That's your code.
I'm talking about, boy, I'm gonna pull up looking rich in that, boy.
That's your code.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up looking rich in that spaceship. Check this out. That spaceship, so prime rate gonna be about 8%. That's prime. If you got bad credit, you looking at probably about what's legal, like 21%.
You're gonna be up there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
21. So now you gotta really think about it. Like, damn, should I buy this car? Should I buy this brand new 2020? Should I buy this? And if you got some sense about yourself, you're gonna be like, nah, I ain't gonna get that right now.
Well, as long as you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, you're gonna go ahead and
you're gonna go do it anyway, right?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people think that their credit score, when it comes to buying cars, a lot of people think their credit score is going to get them a lower rate. Your credit score doesn't matter.
Right.
That's in anything, period. Your credit score don't mean, you can have a 700, 800 credit score, but if you ain't got nothing in it,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Then you just, you know what I'm saying, you might as well have a 0.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people have a misperception of what their credit score actually means or does for them.
Okay.
The credit score, yes, it's good to have a credit, go to Credit Karma, whatever the case is, and look at that 700, 800 credit score. Yeah, it's all fine and dandy.
Yeah, it's cute.
But if you ain't got nothing on your credit or in your credit, or you know what I'm saying, then you might as well just be a 400, 300, 400, 500.
You ain't doing no good.
And then you wonder why your rate is so high or whatever the case is. Like you talked about the car earlier. I have to tell the people, it was me that sold you the car.
I was trying to keep it I was trying to keep it incognito.
I'm extremely blunt, but it was me that sold you the car. But like I told you when I was selling you the car, you wasn't necessarily purchasing you wasn't buying the car, you was buying your credit.
Man, come on, man. Tell me anything. Got me in that old car. Anyway.
But it's right now it's not a buyer's market.
Right, for anything.
Right now it's a seller's market.
Unless it's a trap house or some, dilapidated or something like that.
Right. It's a seller's market right now.
But you probably need to get in there now. Like I'm talking about before the end of this year, because they keep hitting it with more and more points. It's going to get to the point where, and it's already, let's understand that properties and things like that is already overpriced.
Well, that's by design.
Right, but it's already, that's the whole point in them doing this, because they saying, okay, this house that was $400,000, that when it's on the market and when it get listed, people was running up to the door $430. We'll buy $430 cash. You know what I'm saying? And they like, this can't keep continuing, because you got little trap houses that's 900 square feet going for $400,000.
Yeah, but if I turn around, and this is a nugget, y'all. But if I turn around and I purchase that same land in the metaverse, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot cheaper.
You can't live in it.
You're going to live in it.
How you gonna live in something that's inside a cell phone?
It's going to be on your computer, but
you can't live
in the next 10 to 12 to 15 years. That's how you're going to live. You're going to operate everything in the metaverse.
Yeah, but you still got a real body, and you still got to have some real shelter over your head, and you still gonna have to eat some real food.
Well, I mean, why you think they throwing up so many apartments?
Yeah, I got you on that.
They're throwing up apartments because they want you to. Statistics shows that our kids the generation below us is not going to live in houses. They're going to live in apartments, and
that's unfortunate because apartments keep you broke. I was talking to somebody, Mr. Flowers, the other day, and they was like, man, they denied me from this apartment. I was like, how much for the apartment? He was like, man, it was only $1,000. I'm like, $1,000? They denied you?
That's in the hood.
But I'm saying, right, that's what I'm saying. Like, they denied you for the $1,000 apartment?
Right, his credit is boo-boo.
Now, I was thinking about that. I was like, man, okay, they denied him for the $1,000 apartment, but they won't even approve that, brother, for the $600 mortgage. What type of sense do that make? Matter of fact, let's look at it like this. They'll give you the $3,000 apartment. They'll approve you for the $3,000 apartment.
Won't give you the mortgage.
But won't give you the $600 mortgage.
Because that house that he's trying to purchase or want to purchase, they probably have other plans for that house.
I'm just saying, like, okay, the crib, you can't get approved for the $125,000 house or condo or townhouse.
Okay,
they ain't gonna prove that. You make,
because again, like I said that to say they want to prove that 9 times out of 10 because they probably have plans or development plans for that particular property.
So let's take the development plans all together. Let's say it's an independent listing agent. Let's say it's an independent real estate company, and they got the old raggedy house for $125. They like, okay, boom. And you catch it off the humbug, right? But the underwriter come through and be like, oh no, you got this on your credit, and you only,
because I'm looking.
Yeah, you only making, let's just say a good ballpark, you making like a 27 a year. You're making $27,000 a year. No, you can't afford that house. But the mortgage is only $700 a month for 30 years, right? But then you take that same amount of money and you go downtown or you go somewhere and you apply for the big boy 3-bedroom apartment for $3,000, and then they approve you for that. Okay, good, you got approved. But you can't even afford that. Really, you can't afford that. You could come up with the $3,000-$4,000 to pay your down payment to get into the house for 30 years, but they gonna give you they don't want no money down, just your first month's rent, and they're gonna give you a $3,000 apartment.
Because they want to keep you, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna pay way more renting than you are buying off and paying off your loan.
Are we going broke trying to look rich?
Absolutely. And first of all, let's back up.
Let's back it up then.
When the hell are you gonna find downtown a 3-bedroom apartment for $3,000?
Yeah, I was just tripping right there. And it don't matter what city you in. But you might find that in Charlotte. You might find that in, Chicago. You might find that in Salt Lake City, Utah. Yeah, downtown, 3,000, 3-bedroom. Yeah, I'm sure you can find it. You can find it. Mm. You can find it. I ain't say it was gonna be nice, but you can find it. It
ain't no high rise. It ain't on the water or on the.
No, it ain't gonna be on the water now. Okay. Come on, now. You're stretching it right there. But you can find it though. But you definitely ain't gonna find it down here in Miami. Miami is just outrageously overpriced.
Well, Miami has overtaken the number one most expensive place to live in the United States.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
But all I'm saying is, we have to reset our mindset.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out like how some of us is spending good money in the club and buying bottles and everything, and don't even have no life insurance. Well, I'm just trying to figure that out.
That's an excellent question.
You know what I'm saying?
I wish I had the answer to that.
Why we ain't got no life insurance for our kids? That's the reason why we don't have no. Because I was reading an article and it was saying like 50% of the African wealth, the African American. Let me get that straight. African American wealth is going to be accumulated by life insurance policies. Ain't that something crazy?
Wow.
Huh? 50% of the wealth is gonna be accumulated by people dying.
That sounds about right,
brother. Come on now.
That sounds about right. Well, first of all,
talk to me.
And if you remember when we was in Charlotte, and I was trying to tell you at that point that we need to get our stuff together, because the way that a lot of people don't know how a life policy works.
Yeah.
Life insurance policy works.
Yeah.
A lot of the wealth that's accumulated from them, I'm just gonna say them.
Yeah.
Right. For a lot of wealth that's accumulated from them, they're actually purchasing houses.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking money out of their life insurance policy, purchasing the house, pay the property off, and then put the money back into the life insurance policy.
Yeah.
So once you get a life insurance policy, you can act, and it matures.
Yeah.
It opens up a lot of doors that we as a people, because we don't have life insurance, would never be able to access.
That's just like houses too, but we have to keep something in mind. This is something that I hear all the gurus and the real estate people talking about that they don't never mention, that I heard of. And this is something personally that I went to being a small business owner during the pandemic, is that, I had this, I got several properties, but I had this one property that I had just bought right before the pandemic. And I was like, I'm just going to grab this. And then, it was in a area that was gentrifying. So I'm like, ooh, as soon as I grab it, I'm going to flip flop it, boom, boom, boom. Or I might just refinance it, burst strategy, buy it, refinance, buy it, renovate it, refinance it. And rent it. So when I got the property, the whole pandemic thing hit, and brother, income went down. I ain't gonna lie, it was rough. The store was closed, this, that, and the other. So I'm like, okay, let me hit this lick, since everybody down, the interest rates is at 0, all this crazy stuff, or 3.5. That was was in a good look. So I'm like, let me go ahead and touch into this here this equity, right? Because as soon as I bought the property, I caught a crazy equity already in the property. I'm like, let me rip that out, and I'm gonna put that as a down payment on another thing. That's what they teach on the real estate stuff, right?
Right.
When I got ready to do it, they was like, you ain't got no steady income, so we can't approve you to take the money out the house because your income is not steady.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize right now, is that if your income is not steady, they are not going to approve a refinance or a cash out refinance or a line of credit.
Okay.
A line of credit. So that's what we have to keep in mind. Don't jump into these houses thinking that I'm just gonna refinance, because if they look at your income and your income is not steady, and it's not, you ain't got no job, you're an entrepreneur, but if you ain't making no money as an entrepreneur, your things ain't adding up, they're not going to give you the refinance money. Well,
one of the things that I found out being in the car industry, going through the whole finance, portion, because I did finance in at the dealerships. I had a customer at one point who was into banking, and who was at Bank of America, and they was telling me the changes that was coming inside the banking system, and of course having different relationships with different bank operators, being in finance, we had different conversations and so forth. I learned at that point that the banking system was changing. So after the pandemic, what happened, the banking system completely changed at that point. So now, because you have so many people that, America, we were shut down for a couple months.
Yeah.
So if you're shut down outside of a restaurant or grocery stores or hospitals, you're shut down. You're delinquent in your bills because you ain't got no income coming in. So now here it is, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, because once we open back up, you still had to build your clientele back up. Your clientele didn't just automatically come back too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now you got about 5 or 6 months with being maybe you was able to pay your bills the first 2 months.
Yeah.
Of being shut down. But then you're talking the remaining of the 3 or 4 months that we had. You know what I'm saying? You became delinquent. So now you try to go to the bank to get a loan.
Yeah. It's not happening.
It ain't happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then of course now the banks, they're lending policies and terms is so much stronger now because interest rates are up. You know, they're just not just going to be loaning money to any and everybody. So I tell people all the time, listen, if you really trying to make something happen, save your money.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Save it up. If you need to get some, some families and friends and so forth to help you out or whatever the case is, get you some family and friends to help you out. I know a lot of us don't like to depend on nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it takes a village.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so get some folks that you trust, get some people that you believe in, get some people that you know are good business-minded people. Yeah, sometimes business and money, family and money or friends and money don't always pan out.
Yeah, it's a lot of time.
But you never know if you don't try.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I definitely feel you that. I kind of want to switch over to another subject, and that's what I see people doing right now, and that's buying this jewelry trying to look rich, because that's one of the main things. People buy this jewelry trying to look like they got money and don't know they got ripped off in the first place. You overpaid for this jewelry. Now myself, I'm in the jewelry business. We in the James Mack jewelry store right now. So it's like, stop letting these people rip you off. Stop watching these videos on a rapper telling you he paid $50,000 for each ear. No, he did not. Stop watching this stuff saying he paid $50,000 for the pinky ring. No, he didn't. And if he did, then he is getting murdered in the jewelry business because they don't care. They just after your money, right? But you will bring that to me like, oh, I paid $25 for this. And I'll be looking at you like, bro, you so stupid. You just gave them folks probably about, $15,000 profit, and they gave you $10,000 worth of merchandise.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you will be like, no, I like all my stuff right, bro. I don't even mess with it. Y'all ignorant, man. Stop doing that. I'm not saying we got it all figured out, but what I'm saying is we're trying to be more conscious and more aware of what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Stop going out and buying that jewelry at overrated, just the prices is ridiculous. Come to your people and get the right deal. You can go to James. You can contact me at jamesmackdesigns@gmail.com. Contact me. I can help you through this jewelry game because what you're doing. Why don't you bring that money and make some money off of it? Stupid.
Well, a lot of these people is downgrading their jewelry anyway. Because once you put all that stuff, like if you get a Rollie, right, and you ice the Rollie out,
right,
the Rollie ain't worth
it. Ain't factory.
It ain't worth nothing no more. You know what I'm saying? You get the Audemars or whatever the case is and ice it out. It ain't if it ain't factory diamonds,
right?
If it wasn't put there by Audemars or Rolex themselves, it ain't worth nothing.
I ain't gonna say it's not worth nothing. It's definitely worth something.
You lose a lot of value.
It depends on what you got it for too.
You lose it, but if I go and get a $15,000 Rollie, right, and I go and put $10,000 worth of diamonds in this watch,
right,
I just wasted $10,000.
So you didn't waste $10,000, but let's clarify what that means. Because I'm being in the jewelry business, I can't just do this without us making sure we understand the facts. So when you buy, let's just say you buy a Rollie for first of all, $15,000 Rollie gonna be a stainless steel Rollie. It ain't gonna be a 18 karat gold Rollie.
Right.
So if you put diamonds into a stainless steel Rollie, you're not necessarily losing your money because actually you're increasing the value of the watch because you're putting $10,000 worth of diamonds in. Let's get that straight.
Well, you can get a $15,000 Rollie or $16,000 Rollie, and it is a gold Rollie.
No,
you can't.
It depends on where you buy it from. You may buy it from somebody that's wanted this, let it go. But 9 times out of 10, Rollies that's 18 karat gold is $20,000 to $30,000. You know what I'm saying? They presidential, yacht masters, things like that. You know what I'm saying? And when you lose value at is because every time you drill a hole into those watches, you're losing gold.
Absolutely.
So the weight of the gold diminishes and you're putting something into it that, you know what I'm saying? You're putting the diamonds in it, but the diamonds, depending on what type of clarity you got, it ain't matching up. You know what I'm saying? So if you putting a small diamond in that place where you just drilled at that gold, you're automatically changing the value for the diamond.
Okay.
Which the diamond is not worth the same amount which the gold was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where the loss comes
Schoolers,
in.
brother.
Well, I have to, you know what I'm saying? I'm GIA, you know what I'm saying, diploma, you know what I'm saying, AJP, you know what I'm saying, Associated Jewelry Professional, on the way to be a GG graduate gemologist through GIA. So I'm just letting y'all know we're not playing no games over here. But you need to stop buying, and that's the reason why I did it, because when I come out real hard and I come out real strong here soon,
right,
and I tell them about themselves and I tell them why they need to come in, I gotta have that paperwork behind me. You know what I'm saying? So I went ahead and you know, was ambitious, and you know, I went ahead and got that paperwork, so that now can't nobody say nothing, because you can go on GIA website and look up on my name. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna see me pop up. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
So we'll talk that. However the case may be, we need to stop buying it. So now you see everybody went out and they bought the Rolex for $20,000 over cost. You know what I'm saying? Or you see somebody buying the Audemars for $10,000 over what it was. Really, a lot of them buy $50,000 over what it was when it, you know what I'm saying, the pandemic. Now that everything have went down, people won't have that money just to buy anything no more. Now you see the price, the watch prices just dramatically just crash. I'm talking about the same watch that was $90,000. Now the person that's stuck with it can't sell it for $90,000.
Now is that because they're going away from actual diamonds to the lab diamond?
Nah, that's because it was overpriced from the beginning.
Okay.
It was just a greed thing. You know what I'm saying? First of all, what I need to tell y'all is, when it comes to Audemars, when it comes to Hublots, when it comes to certain Rolexes, they only made a certain amount of those in the first place. So you got certain Pateks that they only made 50 pieces in the world.
Okay.
Right? So if they made 50 Pateks, or Richard Mille made 100 Richard Milles in this style, how do you think you got one? Which it ain't no 100 Richard Milles in a certain style. It's only like 30 of them, because you have to be on the waiting list in order to get that Richard Mille.
Okay.
All right. So if a red Richard Mille or something like that, and I ain't gonna get too technical with the names and all that, but a certain Richard Mille came out and it's red, it was only 50 of them pieces. So how is everybody got a red Richard Mille? Half of them fake, brother.
Right.
So, you know, if you pay, and let's just say you got a real one. Let's just say you got a real one, and you pay $300,000 for this watch, that the price of it in the store only costs $150, but you pay double the price because it was supposed to go up all this crazy amount, right? Now it's back to $150. You just lost $150. But on the Rollie, let's just say you bought the Rollie for $90,000 during the pandemic.
Okay.
And at one point it was selling for $150.
You came up.
You didn't sell it. You held on to it.
Right.
Now it's back to $75.
Okay.
You was going broke trying to look rich.
So, you know, all I'm gonna say is this.
I had to drop the mic because you know what I'm saying? I had to drop the mic because I'm telling y'all the truth.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When it comes down to this jewelry stuff, I know you're extremely passionate about it.
Oh, man,
you know. And that's, you know, that's how we met. So, me selling you that car, and we discussing during the midst of the time, you know, about the jewelry business.
Yeah.
So, you know, but that's what's up, man. But yeah, but all I'm saying is we got to definitely get out of the mindset, and we got to go back into being more innovative.
Yeah.
And we got to get more into, you know, and I hate to use this term because the term brings so much derogatory attention. We got to get back to hustling.
Okay. Yeah.
You know
I understand that. Right.
And not hustling in the sense of on the street corners or whatever the case is, but we got to get back to hustling as far as getting our, you know, taking care of things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because grandmama them, and I know I talk about grandmama them all the time. I'll go back to that time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find out who them is one day. But anyway.
But grandmama them, you know what I'm saying? They worked hard.
Yeah.
They came, you know what I'm saying? They had houses, they had cars, they had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids living in his house, taking care of all their responsibilities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We as a, you know what I'm saying, here it is now, our generation has come along, and we can't even handle our responsibilities, and it's just one of us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's because we don't have no financial literacy. You know, nobody set us down and be like, look, this is what you need to do. You need to put, you know what I'm saying?
But we have the information highway. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about what we didn't have all day long. We can talk about how, you know, dad them didn't tell us, you know, dad them wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Mama them, grandmama them, auntie them didn't tell us how to get. We can talk about that all day. No, we living in an informational age. So anything that you want to know is at your fingertip.
For the most part, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we are so busy hypnotized.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On and fixated on trying to live a certain lifestyle based on what we see in videos and on TV. You know what I'm saying? And we've just kind of just gone and just run amok as a culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we are no longer leaders.
Yeah.
We are now a generation of followers.
Right.
For the most part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're a generation of followers.
Yeah.
We're so busy in competition with ourselves that we're falling behind.
Yeah, in a major way.
You know what I'm saying? And so all I'm saying is we got to something has to change. And that's one of the purposes of this particular topic.
Yeah.
It's to awaken our people so we can get a step ahead instead of
organized. You need to get organized
instead of always taking steps. You know what I'm saying? Because we're stagnant right now.
Yeah, I want to tell this little quick story real quick. When I first came down to Brickell and everything, I was over at the restaurant, at the bar and everything, just chilling. Right here at what's the Oriental spot over here, right across the street?
The who?
The Oriental spot, the Asian spot.
PF Chain.
Yeah, I was at PF Chain at the bar, and it was this older gentleman named Giovanni. He was sitting there. He was like, "Hey man," he started talking to me and everything, and then we started getting into a conversation, whatever. I was sober. I wasn't drinking nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was just eating some green beans and all this old type of thing, right? So anyway,
he don't eat meat, y'all.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But he started getting on me about black culture. So I'm listening. I hadn't been drunk anything, so I'm cool. I ain't had nothing. I wasn't drinking at the time, so I'm like, cool. I'm here with this dude. So he started going into me. I don't see why all you black people come down to Miami and rent yachts and know you can't afford it and spend all your money on hotels. Stop doing that. We don't want to see you around. Stop here. Hold on, Mr. Giovanni. Let me ask you a question. Did you grow up in a poor neighborhood, or you was middle class? We were middle class. I had my dad and my mom, but that don't mean shit. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. Then you will never know how it feels to come from a poor environment and come down here to Miami and see all this luxurious stuff and really want to explore these type of things, right? No, I don't know. But why don't you put your money in savings? I'm like, well, first of all, it takes somebody like yourself to take one or two or three of us or 4 or 5 of us and show us exactly where to put our money. Because nobody's saying, hey, come here, let me show you something. Put your money in this and then take your money out in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? We want the luxurious things just like you got. You know what I'm saying? So for you to be so mad at us because we come down here and we spend $1,800 an hour.
Spend a whole lot of money. A whole lot of money
on the yacht, $1,800 an hour on the yacht. You know what I'm saying? To live our best life. Everybody probably put up $100 a piece, 18 people. That's, you know what I'm saying? $300 for 3 hours. I'm just saying, but we do that because we ain't used to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Then I went on and asked him like, so have you been down here with boats? I've been there all my life. I've been on so many boats I can't even remember. Well, then you used to that. You ain't got the feeling where you wanted to get on a yacht no more. Because you've been on yachts for the last 60 years.
How old? Oh, he was an older guy.
Yeah, he was like 70 something.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we just came down here. You know, a lot of our people just come down here and see these yachts and stuff like that. Why not you want to get on that? You know what I'm saying? You want to feel that. You want to be inspired. You want to come through the alley and see these big buildings and things like that and be like, oh, I'm going to get on. You know? But, yeah, he was right. You know, we spending it recklessly. He was right.
Yeah, we've been quite foolish.
He was right.
Foolish. We're being quite foolish.
He was right. You rent the Bentley for $1,000 a night. He was right. You're
renting a Bentley. You're renting the jet skis.
Yeah.
They're overpricing you for these jet skis.
They done made 20. Man, they done made so much money off the jet skis, brother.
You're renting the yacht. Now then you're going and you're renting these hotel rooms. If you on the beach, you're overpriced.
They're gonna tear your behind up.
You know what I'm saying? And what I'm trying to get people to understand is when you come to Miami, yes, the beach is great.
Yeah.
Come across the bridge to the actual city, and then just Uber back and forth from the city.
You still
to the
gonna
beach.
Pay that money. I don't care where you stay at. You gonna pay that money.
Now, if you come inland, it's a lot cheaper. If you come inland.
Doral.
Nah, you ain't got to go way over the Doral.
You gonna be way out there in plastic surgery land.
Because you know what I'm saying, where I'm at, we actually got a hotel on the first couple floors.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so if you come off the, you know what I'm saying, and I kind of look, now they always booked, of course, because it's right across the street from the arena.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot cheaper if you can catch it.
Yeah.
If you can catch it, it's a lot more. I keep using the word cheap. I shouldn't use the word cheap, but it's a lot more affordable.
Yeah.
If you come across the bridge and then just go back and forth, you know what I'm saying? Because when you come to Miami, you're gonna come down the Bayside anyway.
Maybe.
9 times out of 10, you're gonna come down the Bayside because you want to see the arena. You want to go and do all the Bayside stuff, and then of course you might even go to, if you know about Wynwood, you might want to go to Wynwood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And plus, most of your club, your strip clubs and stuff is in the city.
True. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? 11 is right here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got all this stuff right here.
Yeah.
You're coming into the city to go to those places anyway. And most people that go over to the beach, they're coming to the strip club.
Yeah.
Why not stay in the city and just go back to the beach? Because, that's all I'm saying. You're going to save a lot more money.
You're going to save some money. Don't come down here right now.
And then they changing the laws on the beach. So, they're making it so restrictive to go to the beach now. You can't smoke on the beach.
If you got it, come on down, have a good time. If you don't got it, don't come down here and spend your money down here right now. And it's the reason why I'm saying this. And I ain't trying to discourage nobody or nothing like that. But you got to understand.
And Carnival is this weekend. So
it is. But we got to understand something. We're facing and I don't believe in all the bad news or the fake news, and I don't really be like trying to listen to all the economists and all that, but I am listening right now because I know what Chairman Powell is doing and how they're, to keep notching up the interest rate, and that interest rate is affecting a lot of different things, right? So you got to understand what's happening. You got open credit cards right now. You don't know your interest rate going up because you ain't locked in no interest rate, but it's going up. You don't know that certain things is going up behind the scenes. You don't know how they got a plan to make put more people out of business. You don't know they got a plan to make more. The plan is to make like 20% of America poor. You know what I'm saying?
Well, 2053.
You know what I'm saying?
2053, the African Americans will be at net zero.
Yeah, but we talking about
2053.
We talking about 2023. You know what I'm saying? We talking about next year. They trying to get this thing. They trying to put you out of business by next year.
Well, I just told you 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, they're talking about another interest rate.
That's what I'm saying.
Spike.
Yeah.
Either at the end of the year
next
or
couple days. They don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of days.
Or at the first of 23.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a whole nother interest spike coming. But if you pay attention to the stock market has been opening in the red.
Yeah.
A lot of days closing in the red. So it might move up to green for a period of time, but it's closing and opening in the red consistently for the past few days.
Well, we gonna get into some stock market talk, at some point, because we got to understand that too. And it's all about, when they make an announcement, like they made an announcement this morning, the stock market rallied by 800 points. Do not put your money in the stock market right now, because when they make them announcements, they getting ready to snatch all the money back. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? About time you hear the news, it's already a done deal. You feel what I'm saying? So we have to know, we got to pay attention to how they manipulate the system and how they, the stock market has rallied. The stock market already rallied yesterday, the day before. But if you wasn't paying attention, you wouldn't seen the, you know what I'm saying, the incline. And now when they announce it, you'll buy. But then tomorrow, I guarantee you, mark my word, tomorrow the stock market will be going down at least 300 points. Watch what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how they do it. It's called pump and dump. You know what I'm saying? They pump it up, and then once you, oh man, I'm gonna, bam. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll get you like that. Crypto, don't even waste your time. Anyway, we gonna get to some solutions, and we gonna shut this thing down. We ain't gonna have y'all out all night. We know y'all out there. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel like putting a comment, call in, whatnot, we gonna keep our thing going too. This is the 10th show, so we on the road. Anyway, what is some of the things we can do, you know, to look rich and not go broke?
Some things we can do to look rich and not go broke.
Yeah.
Live within your means.
Live within your means. What does that mean, Mr. Flowers?
Well, most of us, and I'm gonna say us, most of us is living from paycheck to paycheck, right? And so we're living from paycheck to paycheck, but we're going to the clubs every weekend. You know, we taking these girl trips, or we taking these guy trips, whatever the case is, flying all across, having people flued out. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, you know, we live in a society now where, you know what I'm saying, most guys is quote unquote simping. And so you're already living from paycheck to paycheck. These women out here are saying you can't do nothing with me unless you pay for this, that, and the third.
Right.
And then we going out paying everything. You know what I'm saying?
Suck.
And then we going home to mama them. We going to mama them house. You know what I'm saying? We leaving that date going to mama them house. You know what I'm saying? Or we going back to the hood, or going back to whatever the case is. We got to live within our means. We got to stop buying all these Jordans that come out every other week. You know what I'm saying? Every other month. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop all of that. Wear them shoes for a good 2-3 months, and then save up. And, you know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just one of those things, man, where we just got to live within our means. We have gotten away from that because we're so fixated on Instagram and what the next person is doing that we don't even live for us anymore. We live for everybody else.
Yeah. I'm gonna piggyback off that. That's a good point. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna piggyback off that and say, you know what I'm saying, invest your money in yourself. Start creating your own brand. Start investing. If you're gonna spend it, invest it. You know, me and what I've always did is I've always invested, then I spent, right? So if I bought a car or something, I made sure that if I was going to spend 15 on the car, then I invested 15. You know what I'm saying? I just go broke on the business, and then whatever I made from that, then I'll buy me something. You feel me? I never been infatuated over the designer clothes and then like that. I was struggling to really purchase the $600 pair of shoes. So I'm like, man, these shoes, first of all, they ugly, then they heavy, then they hurt. You know what I'm saying? Your feet. If anybody know about the luxury shoes, they know they not comfortable for the most part. And I'm like, man, you know, what am I doing this for? I had to check myself right there. Like, why am I about to spend $600 on these shoes? You know what I'm saying? Just so people could be like, oh, he got the $600 shoes on. Yes, I do have an image to upkeep. I'm a jeweler. You're a finance guy. We got a certain image to upkeep, you know what I'm saying? But however the case may be, we have to start, like you said, living within our means. Because when you see some of these yachts out here, and you see these mansions and stuff out here in Miami or whatever city you in, you don't know how them people got that merchandise. You don't know how they got these boats. You don't know how they got the big mansion. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how they got the big condo. You know what I'm saying? They might have bought it at a time where it was affordable, but now trying to go out and do all these things, you know, it's not smart. What I need y'all to do is I need y'all to start learning how to grow your own food. If you got a backyard, it's time to till up, get some soils, and learn how to grow your own food, because that's where we're going to. The people is buying land trying to control the food. You know what I'm saying? The powers that be. You feel what I'm saying? So we need to, you know, really get into farming. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people that made millions of dollars off farming. Nobody don't really tell you that. You know what I'm saying? You can take one crop like soybean and make some real bread. Or you can, you know what I'm saying, grow corn and sell that corn and make some real millions if you got several acres. You know what I'm saying?
I'm laughing because I remember, I don't know if that plant is still there or not, but it was, at one point it was. The last time I was at home in Pensacola, it was still there. When I was a kid, back in C.A. Wise Elementary, for those of you guys from Pensacola, one of our projects was to grow an ear of corn. And we plant the corn in the thing, and you got your grade based on if it grew or not. And then of course you take it home. And I took it home and put it in the yard. And that ear of corn produced multiple ears of corn. And the last time I was home, which was 2015, 2016, somewhere up in there, that ear of corn was still in the back. Those ears of corn was still in the backyard. But I said all that to say, yeah, you're right. We do need to get back into agriculture, which was our thing. That was our thing as a culture. Agriculture was our thing. We don't do that no more.
Right.
We're too busy running to McDonald's or running to these, high-end restaurants, Sexy Fish or whatever the case is. We're too busy running to these restaurants, which is why our health is fading so quickly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're right. We gotta save. We gotta do all of those. We gotta invest. We gotta do all those things. But yeah, but we have to figure out a way how to teach the masses.
Yeah.
Of how to properly invest.
Yeah. Well, I think Minister Louis Farrakhan said it best. He said the way to teach brothers is to put a clean glass in front of a dirty glass. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll see the difference. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times what we need to start doing is, with all this new branding opportunities and all these new opportunities to, design our own clothes, let's wear our own clothes. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop going to Louis. Let's stop going to, Michael Kors. Let's stop going to all these different brands and buying their clothes when we could just put a little bit more effort and come through with our own drip. You know what I'm saying? That's going to cost us way less and it's going to look much flyer. You know what I'm saying? Let's start trying to get our own shoes. Let's start doing our own bags. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going out and buying the Gucci, let's go ahead and just try to, even if you get it from the Chinese people, I ain't even knocking you. If you take your time and order you some bags of your own bags, now you got your own stuff, or you can come and talk to us. We can make you some luxury bags from scratch, black owned. You know what I'm saying? Let's make our own luxury bags. Let's do our own things. With the cars, listen, unless you're leasing it through the business and writing it off as a tax benefit, then listen, go ahead and just buy the used luxury car cash. That's my advice. You know what I'm saying? Buy the used luxury car cash. You know what I'm saying? You can get the 2010, the 2013, 14, something, 20, 30,000. If you gonna spend 10,000 and buy the brand new Bentley truck or something like that, you gonna put 10,000 on it. Listen, you can pull up just as nice, and it's about you. You know what I'm saying? Because I went ahead and bought the used luxury car. You know what I'm saying? But I don't owe no note. So when I look at my other counterparts, when I look at the white people and some of the Latin people, and I see how they do it, I'm like, man, that 97 Lexus dude got his clean. He been having that since 97.
Yeah.
And he'll sell it to somebody like me and you, and we'll be like, hey, I just got the clean Lexus 97. Listen, bro.
Man, of course, I'm thinking back while you're saying that to some of the instances or cars that came through that people were trading in here in Miami. Right. When I first got to Miami, I was still selling cars. The cars that was coming through Miami when I was at the Cadillac dealership. Yeah. I remember a guy came through, had a mint condition Jaguar, one of the old Jaguars. Yeah. But that joker was a drop top and it was cold. It was baby blue. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Leather is immaculate. He came and traded that Jaguar in for a truck because he needed to, carry his materials and stuff on, whatever. He was down in the Keys. He lived in the Keys. He literally traded in that mint condition Jaguar We gave him $1,500 for that car.
Yeah, that's crazy.
$1,500 for the car. Mm-hmm. Right? Mint condition for a truck. You know what I'm saying? And he paid cash money for the truck. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is, yeah, we got to get away from, you know, the latest, newest, and greatest.
Right.
And live within our means, because sometime that what is this, 2022 finna be 2023, sometime that 2018 and 2019 is going, you can get a fully loaded 2018, fully loaded 2019, you know what I'm saying, for way less,
right,
than you're gonna get the low end 2022.
But we need to go lower than that though.
You know
if we're gonna pay it, because the whole goal is to pay it off on cash, or to get a cooler check from your credit union and then go ahead and give it to the, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and pay the whole thing off. You know what I'm saying? Because if you trying to go out and buy something right now, even in 2017, 2018, if you're not going to put that on Toro or some type of, if you're not going to put that car to use and buy it through the business name and really do it the smart way so you can write all that off, boy, you're doing something real dumb right now. Don't go out and buy the luxury car. If you're going to buy the big Rolls Royce or the big Bentley, you better be in a market to where you can rent it out and balance, you know what I'm saying, the cost of that joint, right? Because if you buy the big Bentley or the big Rolls Royce, it costs like 2 stacks a month.
But the average person ain't buying that.
But somebody that's trying to look rich is buying it.
Somebody that's trying to, the average person who's trying to look rich, the average person who's trying to look rich is going out to get the new BMW or the new Mercedes.
Same thing. I mean, okay, that's gonna cost you just as much. Let's keep it real. The big Benz or the big, you know what I'm saying, the big Maybach gonna cost you, you know what I'm saying?
They you know what I'm saying?
$100,000.
The average Joe, not the
average Joe.
The average Joe is trying to get that A class or trying, you know what I'm saying?
And that's where you really get your head smacked, because you the average Joe, you going out to get class. You going out to get the A class because you trying to figure out if you can afford it, or you getting the C class because you trying to squeeze, you know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, it's already
that C300 bad though.
Yeah, but I'm at $700 a month now. You know what I'm saying? And it already costs like $43.
Cause I remember selling some cars, man, when I was over at Nissan. I remember hitting somebody up, you know what I'm saying, because their credit and so forth was, you know, kind of suspect. I remember
you said the credit was suspect. Who credit ain't suspect?
Because that credit was kind of suspect, you know what I'm saying? I remember them going home with a Pathfinder, and not the new Pathfinder that's cold. I'm talking about the old Pathfinder.
And that's the thing, we will settle for whatever to try to look like we got some money. And you settle for it.
And their note was like $800 on a Pathfinder.
That's what I'm saying. I spent $600 on something I ain't even really want.
You know what I'm saying?
And I wasn't even trying to look rich. I was trying to look like, okay, he doing something. You know what I'm saying? He doing something. You know what I'm saying? Man, we got to get ourselves together. So,
and this couple that was, it was a couple. This couple that actually bought the Pathfinder that was paying $800 a month on the Pathfinder. They were black. They was black.
Come on, people. So with all this, you know, I'm gonna have Mr. Flowers wrap it up. With all this, what we're trying to say is, you know, the question of the day is, are we going broke trying to look rich? Because we know that you go in the club, you spending your last on you know, and I literally spent my last on certain things, and I'm like, why did, you know, this was when I was much younger for sure, but I'm like, man, why I spend that? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's some people that is in a second childhood, you feel what I'm saying, that's our age, that's going to the club, no, they can't afford it. No, they can't buy the bottles like that, but you still gonna spend the $400, knowing you got bills to pay. You gonna spend the $400 and have a great night, but then you gonna, can I make a payment plan?
Listen, I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm gonna close it out, but I gotta say this because you just made the club comment. I remember 2016, 17 is somewhere up in there, being in Charlotte, blowing the whole check,
blew the bag.
In the strip club, popping bottles.
You blew the bag in the strip club. You did that.
The whole
thing.
Cause I knew the next week I was getting it right back.
So you blew the whole thing.
So I blew the whole thing. So
you was in there looking rich.
Oh, I was looking rich as a mother.
You was in there looking rich for sure. They was like, who was that?
In there flossing like a mug.
Spinning,
just you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Go and going back and forth.
Leaving out, jumping in something brand new.
You know what I'm saying? So it was, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm working at the dealership.
Yeah, so you got something crazy brand new
you know
out there.
I'm driving brand new. Yeah. I'm going back and forth to the ATM or back and forth to the
tearing your tail up.
Tearing my ass up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in there
$8, $11, $20.
But I was in there, you know what I'm saying? Just in there, just making it rain.
You was making it rain.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Getting all the clout.
You was looking rich. Yeah, you was
looking rich.
Getting some clients, everything. What you do? I sell cars.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I did all of that because I knew it was coming back the following week.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and they're looking rich. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And they're just looking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hindsight, and the crazy thing is, I would literally leave the club like, why the fuck did I do that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Got your beat up stick out.
Yeah.
Beating yourself up.
Like why did I do that? You know what I'm saying? But I remember doing that. You know what I'm saying? Those were lessons learned.
Yeah.
Because now you can't get me to go to a strip club.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Those were lessons learned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had that fun at that particular time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm no better than the next man. But all I'm saying is at some point we all got to grow up.
Yeah.
And we all got to figure out what's best for us and how we can move to the next level.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, go ahead and close us out.
Yeah, we wanted to do this just to let y'all know, we come in, and I don't believe in preaching no bad juju or no hocus pocus or nothing like that. But we see what, the Federal Reserve is doing. We see what, certain things are going with the gas and all that. We're seeing the different changes. So we wanted to do this podcast tonight at the 10th show just to let y'all know, just to put a little bug in y'all ear, like, listen, it's getting sketchy, especially for black people, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't, historically, we don't have a lot of savings, you know what I'm saying? So we don't have a lot of something to lay back on, to fall back on, right? You know what I'm saying? A lot of us for sure living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of us don't even be living paycheck to paycheck. Like we be already behind one check.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we be already in the hole, get that, it's whoop. You know what I'm saying? You might buy you a drink and whatever y'all do that gas. You might buy you some gas and a drink. You got to put that on. They already waiting on you in the rent office. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like we were waiting on you. Hurry up now. You know what I'm saying? So we just want to, part of this podcast is just trying to, put some real, turn your light on. We trying to turn your light on, let you know, hey, listen, if you're thinking about going to buy that car right now, you better, if it makes sense, if you're gonna make money off of it, go ahead and hurry up and do it now. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna go ahead and buy the house, check how much it was before the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Or look, if somebody is selling the house right now for $400,000, don't buy the house when they turn around and they bought it for $300,000. They finna make $1,000 in 1 year off your dumb self, and then with the interest rate, you finna be underwater soon. So don't buy the new house. You know what I'm saying? If you're over leveraged and you're underwater in your house, then you need to try to figure out how to refinance that real quick. If you got a job and you got the income, it's different things, and we can help you too. And I just want to put this out there. If you need help going over any strategy, I'm not saying I'm the best strategist. Mr. Flowers not saying he's the best strategist, you know what I'm saying? But what I can do for you is I can help you. I want you to go to prosperwithjamesmack.com. You know what I'm saying? Let's do a 30-minute call. Let's go over your business plans, because what's going to save us is this entrepreneurship. When they start firing folks, they trying to get the interest rate. They're trying to get the unemployment rate up to 5.2%. That means a lot of people going to lose their jobs. You know what I'm saying? So if you fall in that category, then you need to be saving right now, trying to figure out what's going to be the need that you can, replace your income with. You know what I'm saying? So we can go over there. You might want to get into the food business. You might want to get into the jewelry business. You might want to be a massage therapist. I don't know what you want to do, but let's go over that. Go to prosperwithjamesmack.com, book a 30-minute call. Let's go over that and try to figure that out. I'm going to let you close it out, Mr. Flowers. I'm going to throw it back your way.
Well, I hope you guys got something out of this. We do appreciate you guys for stopping by, you know what I'm saying, just to check on the status of, or whatever we got going on here. Again, I just want to reiterate, we do, our hearts and souls, do go out to the individual that was affected by Hurricane Ian.
Yeah, for sure.
But Please let you know. All I'm gonna say is this, and then we gonna go. We can't move forward if we're stagnant and steady, consistently moving backwards.
Right.
And as a culture, we are stagnant, and in many cases, we're actually moving backwards. If you think about it from this perspective, the world changes every 4 to 5 years. You got a new president every 4 years. You get a new model of a car every 4 years. You know what I'm saying? The things changes. The world changes every 4 to 5 years. If you're still doing what you were doing 4 years ago, and you don't see any progression, it's time to change that mindset and go into a whole different phase. So you need to, just like you get a new president, you get a new car model, you get, you know what I'm saying, the bank systems change. All is so many things that changes every technology changes every year. So you have to reboot and upgrade your platform. You know what I'm saying? You gotta upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Your database. That's that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
You gotta upgrade your database. And so this is what this is all about: shining a light on what we're doing, shining a light on where we're going, shining a light on what it is to what it is to come. So again, let's upgrade y'all. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, thank you for stopping by the status.
Hey, we're gonna be back next week with something real. We're gonna splash you with a little fun. We got some guests coming in, so before, you know what I'm saying, get ready to tune in next week. And from there, we out, man. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Yeah, we did it already. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all, we out.